CaroLINES. I am your host, as I am every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Normally, I am at the Winchie Pizza Company, and I appreciate them hosting me every week throughout the college football season for Southeastern Carolina. Unfortunately, I am not there this morning. I am on remote, but we will be there live on Monday from 2 to 6 for Stillman and Company leading up to the national championship. So make sure to come out to the Winchie Pizza Company, come say hey during the show, stay, grab a pizza, grab some drinks to watch the game, and even if you can't come between 2 and 6 on Monday, or if you can't come for the game on Monday, you can always head out to the Winchie Pizza Company. They have great pizza, great service, great list of local craft beers. So make sure you go hang out at the Winchie Pizza Company, because it is personally my favorite place to go watch a game, especially for pizza as well. So, like I mentioned, we've got a national championship game to get into when it's been ups and downs of this season. But if there's been one team that's emerged as the number one team throughout the season, from week 1 till week 12, the team that seemed to dominate more than any other team in any other conference has been Georgia. And rightfully, they have landed their spot in the college football playoff championship. Now, the team that normally is in that driver's seat is the team that they will be facing on Monday, and that is Alabama. Normally, traditionally, that's the team that's always number one. That's the team that you can almost always book them in the national championship in most years. But this year, that wasn't the case.
He needs to get the Raiders
the ups and downs of this season.
Even win a
that's exactly what Alabama's season has looked like. Pretty up and down, pretty inconsistent, which is something that we never see from an Alabama team, which is something that we never see from a Nick Saban coach team. Normally it is discipline. Normally know exactly what to expect from them. But whenever they started to get into the nitty-gritty of their SEC schedule, you look at Texas A&M, which was a loss. You look at LSU, a team that is incredibly down.
On ESPN Radio
incredibly
and
close.
on the ESPN app.
You look at Auburn, a team that has always kind of been middle of the pack in the SEC West. They weren't really ever in contention for the SEC West this season.
Darian Mel on ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Guests join us on the Goodyear
all it came down
hotline.
to was a 2-point conversion for Alabama to secure that win and to secure their spot in the SEC championship. So I talk about the ups and downs of the college football season. I think Alabama is a microcosm for that. And of course, Alabama's season, I call it up and down, which feels silly because now they're in the national championship. But for Alabama,
8 p.m.
not
national
having
title
that
game played at Lucas
is
Oil
something that we
Stadium.
don't see from Alabama.
I know you have said
here they face each other in the college football playoff on Monday. The opening line for this game, I don't think is going to surprise anyone that it's incredibly close, because I think that whoever you pick, you could really make an argument for either team to win. Opening line here is 2.5. Georgia is favored -2.5. You can take Alabama on the money line +115, Georgia -135. So it really is kind of a pickup, kind of a toss up here. But I'm going to lay it out here straight, and I'll explain it. I'm going to take Alabama +2.5. Now, if you listen to Southeastern CaroLINES leading up to the SEC championship, of course, national championship is a recap of the SEC championship. Feels like BCS days. If you listen to Southeastern CaroLINES that morning, I picked Georgia. And I was so confident in that pick. I believe the spread was 6.5. I thought that Georgia was going to be able to get it done for a few reasons. Georgia hadn't shown any signs of weakness throughout the entire season. Everyone's argument for Georgia was, well, they haven't really played that difficult of competition. Their most difficult game, their best competition throughout the season was Kentucky. We thought it was going to be Clemson. We thought that when Georgia beat Clemson that it was going to be like, this was like the signs that Georgia was going to be the next coming. But then we learned that Clemson really wasn't that great. And Georgia didn't really blow out Clemson by any means. So that's the argument that people made. But my argument to that was, well, yeah, but you can only play who's on your schedule. And Georgia's blown out virtually every single one of the teams that they've played. I thought that's why Georgia was going to beat Alabama, because Alabama had kept it close against not every single, a lot of the teams that they had played. They absolutely did not keep it close with Mercer. Let's not get that confused. But I'm going to take Alabama this time. We saw what happened in the SEC championship, and it seemed like Kirby Smart had no answers for what Nick Saban was throwing at them. What is Georgia's biggest strength? It's their defense. I stand by it today that I think it's one of the best defenses in college football ever, at least that I've ever seen. And I stand by that. Georgia's defense seemed like they couldn't really stop anything that Alabama's offense was throwing their way. Even very early on in that game, Alabama had all of the momentum. And yeah, Georgia was able to put some points up, absolutely. But Georgia's offense isn't elite, but it never needed to be because Georgia's defense was able to stop anything that any team sent their way. So the offense, all they had to do was throw up a decent amount of points, and they were able to win games easy. In the SEC championship, that wasn't the case. And I think that there is one key point to this game that makes me lean Alabama over Georgia. And that's Nick Saban. And it sounds silly, but what have we seen from Nick Saban, not just this season, not just last season, but in his entire career? If you have any sort of weakness, Nick Saban is going to be able to find it, penetrate it, and take advantage of it. Whatever your biggest strength is, Nick Saban is probably going to find a way to slow it down a little bit. And that's exactly what Nick Saban did in the SEC championship. And you could say, well, it's going to be difficult to do that a second time around. It's true. But Georgia's strengths are the same. And you could say, well, this is going to be a revenge game for Georgia. Alabama has won the last 6 meetings with Georgia. 3 of them SEC championships. 1 of them being a national championship back in 2017. Georgia and Alabama, there's enough of a sample size here on a really big stage, either the SEC championship or the national championship, some of the biggest stages in college football. And Alabama's been able to win the last 6 of them. So you could say this is a revenge game for Georgia. Georgia was able to figure things out. Alabama may not have enough answers for Georgia this time around because Georgia switched things up and they were extra motivated. Did you see them against Michigan? Yeah, I saw them against Michigan and they kicked some ass and it was awesome. But Alabama has more depth than Michigan. I think Alabama has more talent than Michigan. I'm not saying that there's anyone on Alabama's team that can match Aiden Hutchinson because I think that he is a bad man and I think that he will secure his spot as one of the top 5 picks in the NFL draft this year. But that's one key part of Michigan's team. Whereas I think Alabama has so much more talent spread out among their team and so much more depth. Alabama's beaten Georgia once this season. It's a revenge game. Why wasn't the SEC championship a revenge game for Georgia after last year? After that SEC championship? Why wasn't this SEC championship a revenge game for last national championship? I'm very much so a believer in when you beat a team once, you come back and you are, you may get cocky and you lose that one. If you lose to a team once, you may be overly motivated to beat them the next time around. I'm a big believer in that. But I think we have enough of a sample size here that even if Georgia's extra motivated, even if they may have gone into the SEC championship thinking this is a revenge game, we're going to get back at Alabama for the last time that they beat us, they didn't. And that is the magic. That is the magic of Nick Saban. That is why he is one of the best coaches of all time. And it tastes like vinegar coming out of my mouth. I mean, y'all know I don't like Nick Saban. I respect the hell out of him. I don't like Nick Saban. I'm an LSU fan. But Nick Saban will always find a way to win. And earlier in the show, I referenced they kept it close with a lot of inferior teams. I mean, Texas A&M beat them. But they kept it close with LSU. They found a way to win. Alabama made a lot of mistakes in that game. They looked sloppy. They made mistakes that an Alabama team doesn't traditionally make. Offsides penalties, false start penalties against Tennessee, muffed punt. They made mistakes. And they found a way to win. Auburn, it came down to the wire. That was a must-win game for Alabama. It was win and you're in the SEC championship. Came down to the wire. It came down to 3 overtimes. And they found a way to win. Georgia hasn't kept it close with any of their opponents this season. Except Alabama. They didn't find a way to win that game. So I am picking Alabama to win this game because I just think that no matter what you can throw at Nick Saban, he's got to find a way to win. In a national championship setting, especially when it's an SEC championship, when it's a must-win game, when it's a national championship, he'll find a way to win. He's won 6 of them at Alabama. He's gone to 8. He's only lost 2, twice to Clemson. He won 1 at LSU. Nick Saban wins championships, and that is just what he does. It's incredibly frustrating coming from a fan of another SEC West team. Trust me, it bugs me to no end. But he always does it. Now, I could totally find a way that Georgia finds a way to win this game. Revenge games are a real thing, 100%. I believe it. But Alabama has won the last 6 games against Georgia. This is a national championship stage. I don't think that this Alabama team is anywhere close to their best team, because it's not. They have a freshman quarterback, but he won the Heisman. Is it because I think he's the best quarterback in the nation, in the country? Probably not. But what uniform does he wear? He wears an Alabama uniform, and they always find a way to win. I'm taking Alabama plus 2.5, if not to win outright. I mean, I took Georgia to win the SEC championship because I believed in Georgia. Like an hour before kickoff, I thought, you idiot. You idiot. Nick Saban's going to find a way to win this game. And I think that the same thing comes true on Monday. That's going to do it for me today. Southeastern Carolines is a short one because although there's only one game today, it is a big game. So we will be at 312 Pizza Company in Germantown for Stillman & Company live from 2 to 6. So make sure to come, hang out, grab a pizza, grab a drink, and stay to watch the national championship game. I'm going to stay to watch the game, so I would love to come chat with you. I'll come out to 312 Pizza Company and hang with us on Monday. But y'all stay safe, stay warm, and I'll see you on Monday.